Welcome to Nachsimanim. I'm Jacob Thomas, and today we will be learning Shmuel Bet, perek Chaf. We begin with the post-war bitterness between the tribes of Judah and the rest of Bnei Israel, where Sheva ben Bichri decides to step forward and say, "We have no portion in David. We shouldn't follow him," leading all the 10 tribes to leave David and go by themselves. People are like, "Whoa, this man's going to be worse than Avshalom." Now, David appoints Amasa his new general to command the army and gather them in 3 days. He fails, so David then decides to send Avishai and Yoav to pursue Sheva. They meet Amasa at the great stone in Giva. Yoav has his sword in a little bit of an awkward position, and as he's going to greet Amasa, how's my friend doing?" His sword falls. Amasa thinks nothing of it, but Yoav quickly picks up his sword while Amasa's off guard and stabs him, leading Amasa to die. His body is in the road. People cannot go by until it is moved off the road and buried. They go all the way to the town of Evel Beit Makkah, where Sheva has taken refuge. Now, they're going to destroy the entire city to get this one man, because they're harboring a traitor. So, one wise woman calls out from the city wall, demanding to speak with Yoav, and she rebukes him for trying to destroy an entire city for one man, reminding him that peace is what one should do, with the story of Abel. Just reminding him that he should do peace. Yoav answers that he doesn't want to destroy the city, and he only wants Sheva ben Bichri. The woman then skillfully negotiates and says, "Here, his head will be thrown over the wall tomorrow, and don't destroy the city." She gets the townspeople involved, and Sheva is executed. Yoav sounds the shofar and calls off the siege, saving it from this one woman. Now, as a recap, we have the new revolt where Sheva ben Bichri starts a northern secession, separating the 10 tribes from David. Then we have the deception of Yoav killing Amasa in order to regain his military leadership. We have the siege where Yoav surrounds Evel Beit Makkah and prepares to destroy the city just to get one man. And we have the restoration of peace by the wise woman who negotiates with Yoav and gets the whole town to kill the one man who was going to lead them all to die. We are in perek Chaf, so just like Zichru, we use a cafe, because Chaf is cafe. The wise woman stops the angry cafe customer from rebelling, or the wise woman stops the angry customer from destroying the cafe. Either works. And it reminds us how we have a cafe, which reminds us we're in perek Chaf, and reminds us how how there was a man who was rebelling against David HaMelech, Sheva ben Bichri. He gets people to go with him. David gets Amasa to try to track down this man. In the end, Amasa does not do his job properly, leading Yoav to be sent. Yoav kills Amasa with deceit and then goes to destroy the entire town. But a wise woman from the top of the gates is able to placate Yoav and get the town to kill Sheva ben Bichri, so they will all survive. One more time with the simon. The wise woman stops the angry cafe customer from rebelling, or the wise woman stops the angry customer from destroying the cafe. We're now going to do A for perek Chazar, starting with perek Tet Zion. The big-toed acrobat curses out David after stubbing his big toes. This reminds us how as David is fleeing, Shimei ben Gera blasphemes David and David's men want to kill him, but he says, no, this is from God. Ziva then comes and tells David that Mephibosheth wanted to try to regain kingship, leading David to tell Ziva that he gives him all of his supplies. There is a description of the people that David tells to send back, and the loyalists that David has. Now, perek Yud Zayin, in which we use a used car. The simon we have is the used car salesman gives David a used car to help him escape from death. Or the two used car salesmen are arguing when to sell the car, which would remind us how Achitophel and Hushai have different pieces of advice to either attack now or wait for a bigger army. When attacking David, Avshalom follows Hushai's advice, leading Achitophel to realize they're going to lose and kill himself. And we have more of a description of where David is at this time. Now, perek Yud Chet, in which we use a chuppah, because Chazal tells us that when you are 18, you should go to the chuppah. Avshalom's hair is caught by the top of the chuppah, leading to his death. This reminds us how David begins the war. He splits his people into 3 army legions, wants to go with them, but is told no. And Avshalom, in the fighting, gets his hair stuck in the thicket of a tree. His mule keeps on going, leaving him helpless, stranded between heaven and earth. Yoav then kills him, leading a message to be sent back to David, leading David to cry. Now, perek Yud Tet, in which we use a yacht, because Yud Tet, yacht. David returns to Yerushalayim on his yacht, regaining his status as king. This reminds us how David, in the beginning of this perek, is very sad. Yoav tells him, why are you crying over the man who tried to kill you? This is an insult to the people who just saved your life. And David realizes this, and he comes back. He reunites all of Israel, and there begins to be a tension between David and the rest of the people. He then also is told by Mephibosheth that Mephibosheth and has 2 conflicting stories, so he splits the land of Mephibosheth from Ziva and David. Now we're going to do a 10-question pop quiz. In which perek does Sheva ben Bichri blow the shofar and lead a new rebellion against David? Shmuel Aleph, perek Chaf. In which perek does David restore all the lands of Shaul to Mephibosheth and invite him to his table? Shmuel Bet, perek Tet. In which perek does the wise woman save her city by arranging for Sheba's head to be thrown over the wall? Shmuel Bet, perek Chaf. In which perek does the king of Amnon cut David's messengers' garments and shave half their beards? Shmuel Bet, perek Yud. In which perek does Hashem deny David permission to rebuild the temple, but gives him a covenant of an eternal dynasty? Shmuel Bet, perek Zayin. In which perek does Yoav hire a wise woman from Tekoa to present a parable about 2 brothers to David, try to get him to bring back Avshalom? Shmuel Bet, perek Yodalit. In which perek does Hushai subvert Achitophel's fast attack plan, leaving David to be saved from immediate death? Shmuel Bet, perek Yud Zayin. In which perek does David conquer the stronghold of Tzion that is held by the Yevusim and rename it Ir David, the city of David? Shmuel Bet, perek Hey. Shmuel Aleph bonus question. In which perek does Yonatan and his armor bearer climb a rocky mountain to miraculously defeat a Plishtim outpost? Shmuel Aleph, perek Yodalit. In which perek does a new generation arise that does not know Hashem and begins to serve Baal? Shoftim, perek Bet. That is it for today. May we be zocheh to finish all of Nach, 1 perek at a time, and remember it day after day. Have a wonderful day.